I don't know what's going on with the studios here. So did Blumhouse produce this movie and then Universal Pictures published it, or is it the other way around? One or the other, who cares? Either way, the movie itself is just as impressive as the trailers were, which is not much at all. This movie is apparently 1 hour and 43 minutes, and it really could have just cut down to a good 90 minutes. You know, I would have been happier with that. I'm not too sure what could have been shaved off, maybe a bit from the opening, and then lots of very slow, boring moments throughout the rest of the movie. We follow a small family of three portrayed by Christopher Abbott, Julia Gardner, and Matilda Firth, who are currently journeying to Christopher Abbott's father's place, who recently passed away, so they're just gonna go pack up a couple things, and maybe stay for a vacation. Unbeknownst to them, there is a creature lurking in the dark that causes them to crash, and they must fight their way until daybreak, all within the property of Christopher Abbott's childhood home. And in case you haven't figured it out by now, the creature lurking in the dark is of course the Wolfman or Wolfmen, because there might be multiple, maybe not, I don't know. Surprisingly, this movie is not a total clusterfuck of failures, but rather a pretty good amount of competent stuff happening behind the scenes, especially the lighting and a lot of the transformation scenes. Getting the positives out of the way first, like I said, the transformation that's happening with Christopher Abbott is pretty fucking awesome. It's kind of scary and creepy the way his body's changing and he's contorting, trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him. Pretty good. I especially love just how realistic the darkness looks in this movie. A lot of horror films tend to just light everything up way too much, but in darkness in this movie, it is dark, creepy, scary, and honestly, that's a good +1 for me. My favorite parts of the movie were the really cool POV transitions between Christopher Abbott's Wolfman perspective to then his family's perspective, how they're seeing things in the darkness. It was really cool and creepy and gave us an idea as to what's going on in his psyche. And it's very clear from the start that this movie is banking on the emotional core being the father-daughter relationship that we've seen a million times in so many other movies now, which wasn't all too bad. Some of it was definitely heartfelt and seemed believable, but holy shit, the actress for the daughter just was not that great. I'm sorry, but I don't know if I can blame the actress here, because the lines that she were given, the writing for her character wasn't really all that great either. As a matter of fact, for the second half of this film, I was just fed up and annoyed with the daughter. I just wanted her to shut the fuck up or just die already, okay? Just die in this movie. Let me see some horrific shit happening. Julia Gardner and Christopher Abbott are of course doing a fantastic job here with what they're given. It's just unfortunate that they aren't given that much to do other than just to be scared and wander around in hopes that the Wolfman doesn't break in. That scene in the trailer where everything goes dark except that spotlight on him, that's fucking badass and is in the movie. There are moments of greatness in this movie. It's just unfortunate that they didn't really know what to do with these characters. They didn't know what to do with this setting or area at all. I don't really know what to talk about here. I mean, there were a couple moments where I was kind of creeped out, but for the most part, I just wasn't scared. I wasn't that invested as to what's going on because the threat never really felt that intense. The threat of the Wolfman lurking around the house, potentially getting inside, just never really felt all that intense because he just kind of disappears for a good amount of time. Because the movie is relying on the horror being Christopher Abbott's transformation, but that shit was just kind of slow and didn't really add much to anything that was going on. To be honest, I was kind of hoping for this movie to use the transformation as like a reflection of his love for his family, how much he's willing to fight against this wolf virus that he's caught in order to protect them from this other Wolfman, which honestly would have been a way better movie and much more interesting, seeing how this guy is trying so damn hard to protect his family as he's transforming and fighting this other Wolfman as he's turning into a Wolfman, and we're seeing how much he's willing to sacrifice. Because that theme is definitely in this movie, a father protecting his cub and his wife. I mean, it's all there for the cooking. I just want to know, how did he even get cut on the forearm by the Wolfman outside of their truck? Someone please explain to me just how he got cut, because that shit just doesn't make any sense. His arm was kind of away from the glass window, and it didn't even look like the arm reached in to cut him. It just looked like it just pounded the glass. Also, how many Wolfmen are there throughout this movie? Is it just that one from the start after the truck crash, or is there 2 or 3? I'm so confused. As a matter of fact, I don't even think the movie knows how many there are. Again, I must reiterate that there is so much potential with this movie. The visual style, the transformation scenes, the POV transitioning, there is so much goodness here. It all just comes down to the lackluster script, because if it was just a bit more robust and refined, it would have been great. This movie could have been a lot more fun, a lot more badass and scary. But you know, it's whatever. This movie is fine. It's mediocre. I guess if you're looking for something kind of thrilling and cool, something that involves wolves, you'll enjoy it. You'll probably enjoy it. I'll tell you one thing though, I did not have a good time in the theater because the fucking couple in front of me just wouldn't turn their fucking phone on mute and stop talking every other goddamn minute. Not only was their phone not on mute, it was an iPhone with the flash notifications every other 5 to 10 minutes, because for some reason this couple just seemed to be completely unaware that it was flashing into the goddamn screen. How fucking hard is it to put your phone on mute, silent, do not disturb, turn off the flash notifications? I don't care if you have your phone on, just turn all that shit down, because everyone else is trying to watch this movie, not just you. And if I can hear you from the row above, you're talking way too damn fucking loud, y'all. Please shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear you talk throughout this entire movie because everyone else is quiet, okay? Alright, that's enough of me. I'll catch you guys next time.